Osais Ichuyud. It would be a professional death knell. It would be a croissant-shaped coffin for his aspirations. Onto me getin. Traumatize his anxieties. To Penelope and Eva, over a breakfast of imperfectly laminated pastries and steaming herbal tea, Gwynbenlistais, my dears, is a formidable arbiter of all that is flaky and exquisite. A true culinary dictator. My entire future, my culinary destiny, my very soul, darling, hinges on these croissants. My exquisite, albeit slightly temperamental, butter bombs, onilically. He held up a slightly misshapen, but incredibly fragrant pastry, a picture of profound despair, as if it held the very essence of his fragile hopes. Guignon being floral delivery. Penelope, her fingers stained with potting soil. From an early morning floral delivery, offered, her voice calm and reassuring. Owning a fisher. Delicious. Perhaps Mr. Dubois simply appreciates honest effort, genuine passion, rather than utter, unachievable perfection. It is, after all, the thought that counts, isn't it? Undeliva. Eva, ever practical, ever analytical, took a methodical, precise bite of the croissant, carefully assessing its internal structure. Onitide. Your technique for the laminating process, while commendable, needs refinement. The butter, Mott have observed, is unevenly distributed, resulting in an inconsistent flake. However, the flavor, Mott must concede, is robust, profoundly buttery. Perhaps, Monsieur Commandel, aftertaste. You should focus on highlighting the robust flavor rather than obsessing over the structural integrity of the flake, which, to most, is a secondary concern. That is your strength, Humemayhar. A rare, genuinely encouraging smile. Wajilian howled, running his hands through his flour-dusted hair. Despair washing over him. Iltronaby. Inconsistent flake, Ava? Inconsistent flake is a deathful cutthroat world of high-end patisserie, darling. A cardinal sin. Dubois will savage me. He will unleash a review so brutal, darling, it will make Madame Crumb's critique look like a nursery rhyme about sunshine and puppies. My dreams, Eva, my culinary dreams, they crumble like an overbaked cookie. Motized. He threw himself onto the sofa, narrowly missing Harry the hamster, who scuttled past, looking deeply unconcerned by Julian's profound anguish. Penelope. Suddenly, Fatherby, the doorbell chimed that shattered the nervous tension in the room. Who Penelope, ever the dutiful and prompt answerer of doors, rose to open it. She returned with a small, neatly wrapped package, adorned with a rather garish, suspiciously familiar ribbon. Just arrived for you. It's from Rory Stardust, darling. He looked particularly smug. Contomatize. Rory had been strangely subdued, almost unnervingly quiet, since the Sireness stanchion incident, which usually meant he was plotting something exceptionally devious. He cautiously unwrapped it, his fingers fumbling with the ribbon. Konabi, whose attire was a tiny, intricately carved wooden chef's hat, and beneath it a folded note. Julian read it, his face paling, the color draining from his cheeks like flour from a sieve. Traumatized. My dearest Julian, he read aloud, his voice trembling slightly, his theatrical voice now infused with genuine terror. Nicolais. A von Osmolis, B. A small to my profound admiration for your unique talents. And, darling, a friendly reminder, one never knows when a certain truth, captured on a certain digital medium, from a rather quaint paprika shaker, will indefinitely find its way into the hands of those who truly appreciate profound, dramatic narratives, even those concerning culinary deception, such as Professor Bloom. Best of luck with your critical endeavors, darling. The world, must assure you, awaits your brilliance, or perhaps Waishnaklibi. V. Humiliation. Signed, your secret admirer. Feng Su. V. A touch less butter in the croissants, darling. Just a friendly suggestion from a fellow connoisseur of perfection. Awet note in his fist. His eyes, wide with a fresh wave of profound, overwhelming panic. Confirms. Rory Stardust, it appeared, was not only back from his aromatherapy retreat, but had somehow gotten wind of Julian's critical interview with Dubois, and was now actively blackmailing him with the infamous paprika shaker camera footage. And he even knew about the croissant's precise butter content. Properly traumatized. This was not just mere sabotage. This was personal. This was psychological warfare of the highest, most insidious order, orchestrated by Coralton Bay's resident cad on the periwinkle. Julian was crumbling, the periwinkle, crumb piece by piece by flake by agonizing flake, under the combined weight of flaky imperfections and a perfectly timed, utterly devastating threat. He had to act. But how did one combat a blackmailing, pastry, critiquing former romantic rival on sea? He needed, and worse, idea, a truly desperate, utterly audacious maneuver. And he decided with grim determination, a lot more butter. On it'ly been. A Baker-Heimy battle, a Baker-as battle, and the butter bomb. Unto a Drüsnistin. Julian Periwinkle anxiety about Mr. Cedric Dubois, the feared bakery critic, had escalated dramatically. Rory Stardust blackmailing note, with its smug, knowing comment about a touch less butter, sent Julian into a tailspin that rivaled a poorly executed culinary spin. Quite traumatized. He was trapped between the impossible pursuit of artistic perfection for Dubois and the imminent threat of public exposure for his elaborate and now mostly defunct charade, a threat that lingered like burnt sugar, ashening Daisen. Hostis, his kitchen at the Azure Lofts became a veritable battlefield, became a aroma of burning sugar and profound culinary despair, replacing the usual fragrant tranquility of fresh herbs, witnessing his increasing agitation and his tendency to loudly rehearse various culinary defenses to an imaginary critic, tried to offer sensible, florist-based advice. Answered again. Julian, darling, just confess the absolute truth to Mr. Dubois. Explain everything. Your ingenious deception for Professor Bloom. Your noble reasons. Rory S. nefarious blackmail. Onchleys. His utterly deplorable behavior. Surely, a man of such discerning taste in pastries would appreciate the rich, dramatic narrative. A compelling story adds depth, darling. Onikais. She pruned a wilting daisy yet firm fin snap, as if demonstrating decisive action. Pragmatic, ever logical, offered a more strategic approach. Without even pausing her meticulous analysis of Harry the hamster's new exercise wheel, Quisort Golf, Monsieur Ennaby, coined of precision, certainly has its merits. Maud believe this calls for video evidence of Rory attempting to sabotage you at Lombardy S. He has video evidence of your rather creative Bolognese substitution. Two blackmailers, monsieur, essentially cancel each other out. This is a matter of logical neutralization, Monsieur Periwinkle, a simple equation of power dynamics. Or, as we say in the medical field, a stalemate achieved through the mutual possession of embarrassing data. Gomit her. Medical charts with crisp efficiency. Her tone utterly detached, on and traumatized.